Check one, two. Ooh, no volume. Mm-mm.
Now we
There you
have.
go. There
Hi,
you go.
and welcome to
Hi.
this. Hi, how you doing today?
I'm good. What's up?
Oh, not much. Welcoming everybody to the Nexus. A weekly time we sit down, chat about the Torah, chat about the Bible, and chat about all things related, which is pretty much anything and everything in the world. And I am James, and this is Rosalie. She's in the background.
Hello, Shalom, y'all.
And we do this every week, 8 p.m. Thursdays, and invite you to join along. In fact, I haven't done that yet. Let's go over here to the live chat, and we'll get all the places we stream to Rumble, or from Rumble. We're at Rumble Studio at the moment, and YouTube, and also X as well. So hit that link over there. It says Rumble or studio.rumble.com. Join in some letters, and that's going to be the link that gets you in the room here. You need a microphone. You don't need a camera. And a happy attitude, because we like debates, and we like it when things get steamy and spicy and whatnot. So we're happy to have you here. Boy, there's a lot going on in the world right now, ain't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy.
We might just have peace one day. What do you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Making deals in Qatar or Qatar, of all
Mm-hmm.
places to go and say, "Yo, you want to be an enemy here? Let's make peace."
Right. Right.
I mean, we bombed enough of their stuff, I'm sure, but
Yeah, they're sending us an airplane. But hey,
yes, I think France did it better. I like France's
Statue of
gift.
Liberty.
Yeah,
Statue
yeah,
of Liberty. Yeah.
that's a gift. That's a
Mm-hmm.
gift. Give us one of your planes. Oh. I'm just kidding, Qatar. Hope you're going to run your country all right and let other people be what they need to be. Israel's still kicking ass, which makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
Good, huh?
strong Israel. That's what the world needs right now. We need a
Mm-hmm.
nice, strong Israel, and they are taking them out one by one. I
Yep.
follow Eretz Yisrael online, and every time they eliminate one of them, they put their picture up and say eliminated, and it
Mm-hmm.
just warms my heart. I mean, I'd like it better if they didn't, but they're going to. They do, and they got to go. So
Mm-hmm.
here's to yeah, here's to a new Gaza. Here's to a new Gaza. A brand new Riviera Beach, the big Trump Tower. I can't do Trump. I can't do my Trump. I need more of this here. It's a delicious, cheap and kosher brew after a long day at work. You know, I like to pop open a beer. And hey, what's better than beer and a Bible, huh? So, uh, l'chaim.
Okay. Have one
So,
for me. I liked it.
say what now?
Have one for me and tell me I liked it. I
Okay,
gotta
I
take
will. You get a what?
meds.
Oh, get healthy. Here's to your health, Rosalie.
Yes, really. Keep me and Mom on your prayer list. Mom's back in the hospital.
Okay, gosh. Here's to her health as well.
Yep.
You know, when recently in the debates, the Noahide debates room, people were bringing up, any historical evidence for the Noahide law being implemented, um, and we can't find any because there's not too much is on there older than Torah. It's the oldest living doctrine on the planet. So I began to think, one of the problems that a lot of people have is that it's not practical. For instance, we used to have blasphemy laws in the United States. Um, but nobody knows what blasphemy is. If you were to question the New Testament or question the Bible at all, that was blasphemy. They could take anything and say it's blasphemy. Blasphemy is cursing God with his name. How do we apply that in today's world? We can't. The best that you can do is don't do it yourself. And when you see other people do it, chastise them. Idolatry, we have freedom of religion. Is it practical? Is the Noahide law actually practical? is it a practical thing? Um, I wonder because we have one of the commandments is denim, justice, to set up fair and balanced courts of justice to regulate the other 6 previous laws in the Noahide Code. And I don't know if we can do that. Now, there was one thing I didn't bring it up last week. I wanted to bring it up last week, and I didn't because I'm just lazy and forgetful. But Trump has signed a law that makes it a federal crime to abuse animals. So cruelty to animals is now a federal crime in the United States. And I like that. That's good. See, that's something practical we can do. So no more ripping off the leg off a donkey and eating it. Sorry, guys, can't do it. Yeah, how do you set up fair and balanced courts of justice in the United States? Because half the judges are sick. They're sick. We used to hang murderers. Really, we used to do that. We used to put people to death when they did something wrong. And now they're just, so many well-shaven judges who just like to put their men into a big warehouse where there are no women and just keep them there for 20 years. Every judge, every local federal judge or whatever, just, Trump can't do that. We got to sign a law and everything has to stop up and we're just going to use the courts and the courts are more than happy. More than happy. So theft, we still don't do that right in the States. I don't think it's ever going to be right. You steal from somebody, you owe them. No, you owe the state. That was a crime against the state. That's a crime against society. Oh, it's not. You're not committing a crime against society when you rob a man, when you take stuff from him that isn't yours. No, you owe him a debt. Society's not hurt. Society could care less. So I wonder if the Noahide Code should not be taught as anything more than a way to walk the path.
Pretty much.
Be an individual thing because you're not going to get it anywhere else. You're not going to be able to use it anywhere else. Murder, we can personal injury. That can actually be, we can actually do something to that similar to that in the States. Marital laws are a joke. I mean, you can cheat on your divorce. You can cheat and get it, and it's just a hobby for people today. That's it. OnlyFans. Yeah, there's no way we could ever enforce, monogamy, or for that matter, just even bigamy or trigamy. There's just no way. We put people in jail for that. Oh, you can't have more than one wife, but you can have an orgy, knock up 2 or 3 women in one night. But by golly, you take a second wife and, oh no, that's morally wrong. What a joke.
Right.
So to anybody out there who might be watching this and is curious about the Noahide Code and what we do with it, it's really how the Torah tells us the non-Jew is judged on the most bare minimum. As we say, 3 hairs away from Neanderthal. It's not for practical use. It cannot be for practical use. Just can't. You're never going to be able to do it. I know it's what we would like, and I was that way for a while. I wanted to turn our group on Facebook, now called the Orphans of Abraham. I wanted that to be a place where you could come and settle disputes. That we would open up a court,
right.
And we would do our best. And what a joke! Nobody wants to do that. Nobody has to abide by it. So yeah, to all the folks out there, the Noahide law is not something you should be implementing in the world now. It's a path to walk. Maybe one day in Israel. Maybe one day in Israel.
Here's something interesting in the news.
What's
Chinese kill switches found. Chinese kill switches found on U.S. solar farms.
A Chinese kill switch?
Yeah.
So the Chinese can cut off wind farms in America. Is that what I'm getting?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there and see what it says.
That's a little crazy.
Kill switches have been found in solar farms. Help to roll out renewables. Let's see. The Secretary of Energy has urged to impose immediate pause on his green energy blitz to review whether UK solar plants are also at risk. The components found in US cellular radios capable of switching off the equipment remotely, raising serious concerns about grid security, according to Reuters. They found inside power inverters manufactured by unnamed Chinese companies. Power inverters are the key links between solar or wind farms and the rest of the power system, converting their electricity so the wider grid can use it. Yeah. And so one
Wow.
source told Reuters that compromising such equipment could give Beijing the ability to inflict blackouts on the West, claiming it would create a built in way to physically destroy the grid. China has dismissed the claims as a smear, but the discovery has sounded alarm bells within the U.S. government and is likely to prompt a similar scramble in Britain. Andrew Bowie, the shadow energy minister, on Thursday said worry revelations should spark serious concern for Mr. Miliband and call for an urgent investigation. Blah, blah, blah.
Wonder how we could let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Whose bright idea was it to give a country the ability to buy up land and property in the states and govern it? Have our own police force over here. Whose bright idea was that?
I don't know. They do it with, I mean, you look at all the, what is it? The charter, the celebrity cruise liners. Look at all of them, and they own their slips, and they're all out of country. They
Really?
flat out own it. Yeah, they flat out own their slips, and it's like, yeah, they've got a hold on the ocean and all that in the area too. So
Wow.
there's that. I knew that years ago, back in the early 2000s when we went on a cruise. That you go down there, oh yeah, they own their slip, they own their slip, they own their dock, blah blah blah.
Isn't that interesting?
Hmm.
We let it slip by us. I'm not going to blame commies for being commies. Commies aren't human beings. Stop thinking they are. They're not. Let me ask you something. Question of the day. Comment down below. Leave something in the chat if you want to. I'll put it up on the screen. We are a live show. Not everybody watches live. Most of our views come later. The question is to you: if you're a socialist or you're interested, do you really believe the people that are leading you into your socialist revolution? When you're taught this in college and you go out and you're capitalist swine and socialism's better. Do you really believe that people are just going to allow the people to own everything together as one and allow government to fairly implement? I mean, even if it was possible, do you do you seriously believe it could work? That you're not being led astray? That these people don't have their own interests at heart? I mean, really, really, once you've destroyed the country and once you've gotten rid of all the independent thinkers, that suddenly you're going to do that, everything's just going to be equal. You really think that's possible? You really think that's going to happen? You have to really stop and think about it. You don't need to look at history. I could just say, find me one place it's worked ever. Not a welfare state. Not a welfare state. That's a different story. We're half a welfare state. Switzerland is a welfare state. Britain is or England or Britain is a welfare state. Lots of taxes, lots of government programs. Socialism, where the people own the means of production and the product thereof. Show me where it's worked, but really, if you seriously think that these people, that nobody gets rich in a socialist country, that there was no corruption in a socialist country.
Let me read this last two little paragraphs here
Yeah.
on this article. It said earlier this year, Ministry of Defense officials were revealed to have also flagged concerns about a Chinese firm, Mingyang Smart Energy, which has been contracted to provide turbines for the Green Volt wind farm off the coast of Scotland. The deal would give the Chinese engineers, quote, a legitimate excuse to visit any time unquote, for maintenance, officials said, prompting fears that they could use the access to install devices used to spy on Britain or tamper with equipment. And that's the last comment on that.
The Chinese people are kind of pissed
Lovely
right
world
now,
to
you
live
know.
in.
I think
Yeah,
in
a
every
little
major
bit.
city they've been having a lot of protests, a lot of people acting out. Because there was a time when China was going aggressively capitalist. That's they started buying stuff up in the
Hmm.
2000s, the late noughts, and
Oh, I know.
Xi got back
Big
in there, and
corporation in this area. Big corporation in this area went over there and taught them how to make things.
hmm,
Which I shall let it remain anonymous. But there's a couple of them, couple areas. One big one, major company anyway. And it's like, and y'all didn't think that was stupid to begin with? And they said at the time, yeah, we think so, but hey, we got to get paid and we do what we got to do. They send us here, we go. So I was like, okay. But anyway, that's that. Show the memes. Show the memes.
memes. Oh, I got a
Memes,
couple
memes.
memes. Let me see if I have a couple here. I didn't get up last minute, but I had to go. I have a CV joint that's just about to go on my car.
I hate that. Yeah.
You turn the wheel. I mean, just a half a degree, and you can just hear the metal.
Yeah.
Um, I've been putting up with that for a long time. I had some time left on it. The mechanic told me because we didn't have a whole lot of money at the time to fix it. But you know, um,
Got to do it now.
got to do it now. So we had to take the car down there, and I didn't get to finish a lot of my stockpiling of memes here. Let me get one more in. I got one more coming up. One more. Hang on a second. Which one was it? Yes. Here we go. All right. So, by the way, any compliments, complaints, suggestions, please join us here at the Nexus. Let us know what's going on. Okay. Um, this one here's a good one. It's straight up. Nobkaday, the great catastrophe, when they tried to murder 600,000 Jews and failed. Oh, oh, you poor people! You didn't get rid of your Jews. You poor little victims. You
Yeah.
victims. You're victims. Yes. I'm sick of hearing the Palestinian people are victims of Hamas. They are not victims of Hamas.
Yeah.
Maybe 20% of them. That's a garbage scout area. Relocate them. Don't. I wouldn't let them back in. I'd make
Mm-mm.
them. Let them be refugees forever in the ocean. You don't need people like that. That's beyond stupid. That's like deliberately dumbing down. It's like, why not make people go back to Neanderthal? Take them to Palestine. By the way, Palestine doesn't
Taking
exist.
her run.
Oh yeah, here you go. So there's a good laugh.
Laughs in British.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Um, this one I just found entertaining.
You will what?
Yeah, taste man flesh. It's
Uh,
from Lord of the Rings, and
yeah, I
he's
know what it
building
is,
the.
but
Talk dirty to me, you will taste man flesh. Okay, it's nerd stuff. All right, I'm a nerd. Okay, here. Is this better? Is this good? All right, all right. Meme of the week, right there. Okay,
that's funny.
and
That's
I would love
funny.
to take your suggestions if you don't like my memes and find them offensive. I'm a child and I'm happy.
There
So
you go.
yeah, this is a whole bunch of BS. They make you think that they colonized the place and kicked all the Arabs out. Not what happened at all.
Mm-mm.
Not what happened under any. It's the most inversion of truth ever. And Nabka means catastrophe. And no, it's not a Muslim thing. It's a Gazan thing. Okay, it's a occupied Judea Samaria. I'm not talking about occupied by the people who actually rightfully own the place. Um, yeah, it's that they gotta fix that soon. How many more countries are that? What, three more countries are considering, or two more? I mean, the amount of people, Saudi Arabia joining
Mm-hmm.
the Abraham Accords. Think about that. Think about
Mm-hmm.
that. Iran's going to be pretty lonely here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Of course, Putin and Zelensky were no shows at the peace talks.
Really.
Yeah.
Did not know.
So
I
let
guess
them
that
fight.
worked all day. I don't know.
Let them fight. They're Russian. That's what they like to do.
Hmm.
Let them kill each other off. Who cares? We really shouldn't. Sorry, it's not our business, not our war. Let's go, Brandon, and
Yeah.
screw every Democrat who wants to give
Yeah,
them
but we
money.
got
That's
mineral rights, if I remember correctly. We've got
do
mineral
we?
rights. Yeah, I think Zelensky signed it over.
You know, Putin offered too. He said if we would allow private companies mineral right deals in Russia, if because when Zelensky said no and was being a pompous ass,
Hmm.
Putin was like, "Yeah, we'll take your money. I'll take your money. We give you mineral rights. We'll give it to you in Russia."
Hmm.
So they don't want peace. They want war.
Hmm. Let them
Let
have
them
it.
go at it. Let them be. Let them
Yeah,
stay
just
occupied for a while.
put a big ass fence all around there and just let them have at it till the last man standing wins.
Or as George Carlin would say, the last man standing, you pick him, you pull him out of the pit, put him on a pedestal, and shoot him in the effing head.
Hmm. They just said it about Chicago. Build a big fence around Chicago and let them have at it.
That's a beautiful city too. It's
It can be.
huge. It's
Yeah,
huge. You
I know.
drive into it and it doesn't effing stop. It keeps
There's
going and going.
no, I know. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, you know, you're up there.
Yeah, it's directly crosses the lake from us. Yeah, I get it. On some good nights, if you go up high enough, you can actually see the skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only like 35, 40 miles.
Oh
So
wow.
across the lake, yeah.
Huh. So you can easily boat to Illinois.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
people around here do it a lot. They were talking about putting. I don't know. At one time, they had a ferry from Grand Haven, I think, all the way to Milwaukee or something like that, somewhere up there for during the nicer weather days.
Hmm.
It's like okay, whatever. But yeah, no, I've always said that. Just put a. I say that about where I live too, so I got to shut up.
You get on the outside of that fence before they erect
Yeah.
it.
Hey, they're out there shooting everybody anyway. It's like you know what? Just put a fence around them, let them have it out, get it done and over with, and get it out of your system.
I am
Clean, clean the gene pool.
yeah, right. Raise the level of the American intelligence.
Exactly.
Um, this week on this week's Parsha in Vaikra, which is Leviticus,
Emor.
um, we're in chapter 21. I gotta say though, I'm anxious to get into Numbers because I got the new. It's not new. It's his latest. One more
Yeah.
after this. We got four now. We have four.
Hmm.
Any Christian, atheist, Buddhist, anybody who's looking to get a nice kind of ease you into the idea of commentary on scripture. This is the way to go. I think this would be the best one. Yes, you need a Chumash. Get you a Chumash first, but
Hmm.
this is great commentary right here, and it's Dennis Prager. You know Dennis Prager. He's
Hmm.
getting better. He's coming back. I look forward
They've
to.
got a channel on Roku TV. Did you know that? Did you know
Yes,
that? Yes.
we've got it. Yeah, we download it, and I still watch it too. I get a kick. The stories of us are really neat too.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, there's some good stuff in here. I'm not going to get into it yet, but it's not the number. They call it numbers. Did they just want to make it sound boring? Kind of like that when the church decided to label it the Old Testament.
Hmm.
Was that Lewis Black was saying, "Yeah, you call your book new, and you call our book old." When he gets mad about it. Numbers. That's it. Just numbers. Is that not the most dry,
Hmm.
boring, most? I don't want to read a book called Numbers. I did math in school. That's enough.
That's right.
But it's about being in the wilderness, God and man in the wilderness. Um, there's accounting, but hey, there's more to it than that. Um, Vaikra, that what we're in now in this week's Torah portion is really, and you can tell by reading it. I don't know if we'll go through the whole thing. We don't have a double parsha, so we probably could. Um, it's the nation being a nation of priests and kings and priests, but priests mainly, and then what it means to be a priest within the nation. like what keeps the nation itself focused, keeps your eye on the ball, that sort of thing. So it's like a two-way book. You get a little of both. It weaves in and out. Um, uh, Something else I brought up. I got to bring this up to. I'm sorry, Rosalie.
You go right ahead.
There's I haven't done it in a long time, probably about 3-4 years since I sat down to YouTube and typed in Noahide. I do it
Mm-hmm.
first without being logged in, and then I do it with logged in with a premium account.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff these people talk about, um, usually it's preppers,
Mm-hmm.
the crazies, the ones who are just a little too. The world's not gone, but they want to live like it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They're getting ready to survive. Yeah,
yes, they're getting
they're in
ready.
survivors in practice. Yeah.
That's good. I like that. That's good. So
Mm-hmm.
no, so these guys, have you ever heard of the Noahide laws? You ever heard of that? Look it up and find out that the Jews control America. They want to control America. They don't like some Noahide. Now they'll have praise Jesus in their description. They'll be wearing a cross. So it's not like
Yeah.
they can, they deny God. They don't deny, obviously. You can't be a Christian and just line the bottom of your bird cage with the first 4/5 of your Bible. You can't do it. Sorry, no. Most Christians don't. But the whole Jewish takeover of America. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute as well. Um, these Noahide laws, they want to implement it on everybody. I'm like, what God-fearing American wouldn't want them implemented?
Yeah, no
What
kidding.
what is okay? Dennis Prager makes a case that Christianity is less idolatry than it than I would call it. And I get
Like
it, but
Catholicism. Yeah,
huh?
it's less idolatry than Catholicism.
Eh, less
Yeah, but
idolatry
then
than
again, you
Moloch.
got your snake charmers and everything else. Don't tell me that ain't idolatry.
So, but really, what Christian? You die for murder?
Mm.
What is wrong with that? Why would you? Why would you be against? Why would you be against a law that's against cruelty to animals or sexual immorality? But they're scared. These people, they drum up people, and then in the comments you read the comments on YouTube. Um, and some of it's good stuff. Some of it, you've got some, good Torah observant Orthodox Jews kind of people, that are giving you information, and they all have something different to say, which is what I love about Judaism, is you can have so many varying shades of opinion on a subject, and they all be right. I love that. It's a very free thinking. They are a very free thinking people when it comes to Torah. Much more open minded about their Torah in learning certainly than the Christians are. And hey, if we could ever get a Muslim to read it, it might open their mind too.
Yeah, good luck with that.
uh, my Muslim brothers, ah, y'all, you got to
They're too
try the
busy wanting
Torah.
to kill us. They're too busy wanting to kill us.
Well, that Saudi
Well, hey,
prince,
we're infidels. Remember that.
I refuse to say I'm an infidel. You can call me a child of the book or whatever. I am no infidel, and I'll kill any Muslim who calls me that. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Infidel, I might not be Muslim, but don't you dare call me an infidel. You can
Mm-hmm.
go to the Wiccan, you can go to the crazies and the atheists. Fine. Don't call God-fearers who want to live an ethical life. Yeah. Well, anyway. Them Sunnis are nice. It's them Shiites that seem to be causing all
Yes.
the trouble, and all the Sunnis are gathering up together. I love it. I love it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. One less thing for American retards to have for hating Jews, because Americans are the worst. Brits are kind of bad too, but uh, Americans are the excuses they come up with to hate Jews. Well, Netanyahu, I guess it was 2 days ago, and I don't have the article up. Of course, I don't have the article up. He said that it's time to rethink their um, foreign policy as far as aid from America. In other words, he wants to stop the aid from
Yeah.
America. Now think about that. What are all these schmucktards on social media gonna hate Israel for? When we're no longer giving them loans that they pay back. Oh, the
Yeah.
horror!
I
We
know.
don't like your Jew money. That's backed up by that gold and stuff. No, we don't like that. When
Yeah, but I sat and thought about it. It's like, okay, we're good to Israel, And so we're blessed. But if they don't want us, they don't want our blessing or be good to them, what happens to us?
Well, you have to find another way. He said it wouldn't end all relations on this matter, but they don't want to be dependent. And
Hmm.
you know,
I
and
understand that.
you know, Trump
Until
does
they get
great things.
Gaza, until they got Gaza figured out, they gotta still be dependent on us.
Hmm. Well, we profit, whether our stupid my stupid American brethren know it or not. We do profit from them. Okay,
Hmm.
and they get to live. But when we don't give, when we're not no longer giving aid to Israel, and people still love God and the Jewish people, what are they going to hate? How are they? What are they going to bitch about next? They can't.
Right. Hmm.
I I don't blame Netanyahu at all, um, because Trump can do great things, and then we'll suddenly in about 3.5 years have another poof 100 or was that no? It was 15 million vote count. Just what was that? Pops out of thin air.
Right.
You got to pop your cheek proper,
Hmm.
pops out of thin air, and then we lose the election to a guy who would withhold weapons they already bought.
Hmm. Give them away.
Your country, you like it like that. A lot of them, these the sick people.
Hmm.
They just yeah, and we're gonna get some schmuck in the White House like that. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, one less thing. When Israel says we don't really think we don't want your aid anymore, we need to stand on our own 2 feet and figure this out. You can't hate him. You can't blame him. You can't, you can't say that the Jews, those Jew, Jooz, by the way, when I say it like that, and I think all the Jews know that, but just to make sure, this is the illusion that the American Christian right likes to think of for themselves, or the so-called libertarians. They don't know what Jews are. They just, So I don't want to say they're against the Jews, Jews, as we know, but no, they're Jooz because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right, sorry, shouldn't have said. Don't. This is a show for adults. Don't say. We're talking Torah here. Um. All right. Um. So yeah, this is pretty much addressed to Aaron. This entire parsha is
Hmm.
to Aaron. Now I'll go on the first. Maybe we'll go on a rant and keep going. But I just want to read the first so you can see how. Let me open that Rashi's up too. Um, Link in the description. Let me get over here because we have it in the live chat too. Rosalie put it up. I'm going to copy that and make sure it's public. We're at Chabad. Chabad's great.
Hmm.
Um, Easy to understand. I keep the Mechan Mamre open just in case because it's an older translation that was well accepted before there was ever a country called Palestine in 1922. All right. Um, so we're in Leviticus chapter 21. It starts off the beginning of the chapter. Okay. All right, hang on a second, just in case, because I am my small font again. But it's okay to have small font when you're old. Huh? Huh? All right. God said to Moses, say to the priests, the sons of Aaron, you must say to them, no one may ritually defile himself among his people on account of a corpse, except for his close relative, his mother, his father, his son, his daughter, and his brother. Um, and
Take
the
it to three.
wife.
Take it
Um,
to three.
regarding his virgin regarding his virgin sister, as long as she was close to him in that she was not married to a man, he must defile himself for her.
Hmm.
Okay. Now Rashi, who is close, this is said in order to include a wife to whom he is only betrothed but not yet married. Okay.
His
uh,
fiance.
yeah. Okay. He must defile himself for her.
Hmm.
I don't understand that. What does that mean?
No, if his virgin sister dies, he has to. But if she's married, no.
Okay. Okay, he has to take care of the
Yeah.
arrangements and
Well,
whatnot.
see, that
Okay.
was well. See, they put a period there in his brother, but I should. I mean, if you go ahead and read it, read it together, it makes better sense because she's not married or nothing, and
Right.
it's like, somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they figured mom and dad are dead, so.
A husband must not ritually defile himself for a wife who died among his people if she causes his temporary demotion from active priesthood.
Hmm.
This means a husband must not ritually defile himself for his forbidden wife, though whom he is temporarily demoted as long as she is with him, married to him. And so is the straightforward meaning of the verse. A husband must not make himself defiled for his close relative, as long as she is among his people, i.e., she has people who can bury her, and thus not a mitzvah. And to which close relative do I refer? This is Rashi. To the
Hmm.
one who is um,
To become demoted.
okay.
I don't know.
I might know. Is that Lohak Lov? Luv. Okay. Is to become demoted, i.e., he who causes him to become demoted from his priestly status. So he cannot become defiled for his wife, but can for the close family:
Hmm.
mother, father, son, daughter, brother.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. The priests, it said here, verse 5, they must not make a bald spot on their head. Hmm. Nor may they shave any edge of their beard, nor may they make cuts in their flesh. Gee, who
Hmm.
has a bald spot on their head? That's what monks and friars used to do. I don't know if they
Yep.
still do it, but they it looks like a yarmulke from
Hmm.
afar, but yeah, they cut a bald spot. Here God says the priests not to do it, so the Romans make a church and do it flagrantly. Bloody Romans, no sense of humor.
Hmm.
Now Rashi says this is in mourning for a dead person, but it is every Israelite also warned against this. Rather, the meaning is since it says regarding an Israelite between your eyes. I might think that one is not liable for making a bald spot anywhere else on the head. Scripture therefore states here on their heads. And we learn this detail regarding an Israelite by a verbal analogy to the prohibition regarding the priests. It says here and it says there regarding an Israelite. Just as here it refers to the entire head, so does it there refer to the entire head. Wherever he makes a bald spot on his head, just as there it applies only when it's done in mourning for a dead person. So does it here apply for when is done in mourning? So you're not supposed to shave a bald patch on your head anyway. That
Hmm.
is up to the people. Let's see. They must be holy to their God. They must not desecrate their God's name, for they offer up the fire offerings of God, the food of their God, and food is in quotes there. Um, the food of their God, so they must be holy. They must not marry a woman who has acted like an unfaithful woman or who is demoted from being eligible to marry a priest. They must not marry a woman who was divorced from her husband, for he is holy to his God. Um, you have to set an example. You're a priest.
Hmm.
Something. Okay, here's something else that boy has been bugging me. This is in some of the Noahide uh, videos I watched, and they walked around to Israelis. They were in Israel, and they walk around interviewing. Is it true that one day the Gentiles will become slaves to Israel? And both times they got two men to answer. Yes, when it happens, everybody will turn to Israel. Everybody will turn to us, and they will come here to worship God. But not like you would think of a slave as in the modern, and they cut him off. And another guy did the same thing, and they cut him off.
Hmm.
For anybody out there who no, we will not be slaves
No.
to the Israelites or the Messiah or the King. We will be subjects to God.
Hmm. Think of it like Batman and Robin, like Bruce Wayne and Burt Ward
Right?
as a ward of the state. It's not. That's what an evid is. Is like, if you're an orphan and you have nowhere else to go and your uncle takes you in or something like that, that makes you a ward. That's what an evid actually is.
You're not a slave. When you go to church as the pastor, as the priest, are you that pastor's or that priest's slave? Does he not don fancy garments? Does he not do rituals and teach? Does he not, is he not up on a pulpit or something, a pulpit? I don't know, maybe that's not the word, but a riser of some sort.
Hmm.
Does that make you a slave? Same thing here. Okay. Um, you can't have a divorced woman. 8, you, through the court, must sanctify him, for he offers up the food of God. He must be treated as holy by you, because I, God, who sanctifies you, am holy. If a priest's daughter becomes desecrated on account of committing adultery, she thereby desecrates her father. She must be burned in fire. You don't get that much in Torah. You have to raise them right. You can't just go willy-nilly. Not that you should go willy-nilly anyway, but you have to be extra, extra careful. The priest who has been elevated above his brothers, the anointed oil having been poured upon his head, or who has been installed by being chosen to wear the garments of a high priest, must not leave his hair uncut or rend his garments. He must not come into any roofed structure in which any dead bodies are present. He must not ritually defile himself for his father or his mother. He must not leave the sanctuary. He does not desecrate the holy things of his God by officiating while in mourning, for the crown of his God's anointing oil is upon him.
Hmm.
I am God. He must marry a woman who is a virgin. He must not marry the following: a widow, a divorcee, a woman who is demoted from being eligible to marry a priest, or a woman who has acted like an unfaithful woman, a harlot. He may only take a virgin as a wife from any of his people. He must not cause his offspring to be demoted from the priesthood by fathering them by any woman from among his people who is prohibited to him. For I am God who sanctifies them. I'm wanting to get one other part. Um, oh, well, okay. Any man among your descendants, this is 17, throughout their generations who has a bodily defect may not approach the altar to offer up his God's food. If
Ooh.
you notice, the altar is on a ramp,
Hmm.
and you have to drag this animal up this ramp, and you have to put the blood on the horns. You have so much. You can't do it if you have a birthing defect. It's not that they don't like infirm people. You
Right.
just can't do the job. It's not going to let
Right.
you do the job.
Yeah. Did you read 15?
I thought I read it fastly.
Okay. Did you read the commentary on 15?
No, I did not.
The commentary says, okay, I'm going to read 15. He must not cause his offspring to be demoted from the priesthood by fathering them by any woman from among his people who is prohibited to him, for I am God who sanctifies him. And he must not cause his offspring to be demoted. But if he did marry one of the women forbidden to him in marriage, his offspring by her is demoted from holy status of the priesthood. Hmm. Hmm. Does that sound like?
So there are no.
Somebody put his wife away. Somebody put his wife away because she was pregnant. There's a demotion right there.
Oh
Not
wow.
qualified. Not qualified to be a priest. There it is. Hmm.
Right there. No anointing for this one.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I don't want to say any names, but it rhymes with Jesus. Speak to. Okay, so yeah, for it is not proper for any man who has a defect should approach the altar. A blind man, a lame man, a man whose nose is sunken, a man with mismatched limbs, um, a man who has a broken arm or leg. You can't ask them to do that. They can't perform the work.
Correct.
This one I asked, a man whose eyebrows are long or untrimmed, a man with a cataract, a man with commingling of colors in his eyes, a man with dry boils, gross, a
Yeah.
man with oozing boils, grosser,
Yes, sir.
or a man with crushed testicles. I
Ow.
don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't.
No sopranos allowed.
I'm up until. All right, up until the testicles part, you don't want something that's going to distract somebody because this is pretty much all you're going to see of a priest. He's got a turban. He's got a wrap. Um, so you don't want
No
anything that's going to.
bow-legged walking for you.
No. Any man among his descendants of Aaron must. Aaron the priest who has a defect must not approach the altar to offer up God's fire offerings. As long as he has such a defect, he should not approach the altar to offer up God's food. Food. That's new. I haven't seen this on. This is the first year, the first cycle I've been reading from Chabad that God's food. They put food in quotes. I think it's interesting. He may eat of God's food from both the sacrifices of superior holiness and from the sacrifices of lesser holiness. He must not approach the curtain of the Holy of Holies, besides not approaching the outer altar, for he has a defect. He must not desecrate my holy things, for I am God who sanctifies them. So it's about just setting, you're not getting rid of your infirm or your person with mismatched limbs, but you're dealing with bringing God's world to our world and elevating our world to God's world. It's going to take a certain. You have to be selective.
It's about the difference between the regular army and the upper Marines.
Yeah, you might be a soldier, but you might not be a Green Beret.
Correct. Or a Navy SEAL.
Or SEAL. Yep. Now we go on to this is I'm on verse 4. Any man among Aaron's descendants who is afflicted with sarat, or who has a non-seminal discharge must not eat from the holy food, teruma, until he purifies himself of ritual defilement. Usually you wash yourself with water and you're unclean till sundown. The same is true for one who touches anyone who has become ritually defiled by contact with a dead person, a man who has had a seminal discharge, a man who touches the carcass of any crawling creature through which he can be ritually defiled, who touches the corpse of a person through which he can be ritually defiled, or one who touches any other person through whom he can be ritually defiled. You just gotta be clean. If you got a pet pig and you scratch him behind the ears, don't go. You can't. It's not allowed to even touch a pig. I don't think. Any person who touches any of these will remain ritually defiled until nightfall. He must not eat from the holy food, teruma, unless he has immersed his flesh in the water of a mikvah. You must, and then when the sun sets, he will be rid of defilement, and after that he may eat the food, teruma, for it is his staple food. Something else that said, I'm skipping down a bit. A non-priest may eat holy food. A priest's resident or hired servant may not eat holy food. If a priest acquires a non-Jewish person as a monetary acquisition, slave, the bondsman may eat the priest's teruma. As to those born in his house, they may eat of his holy food, his teruma. So a non-Jewish person Um, a hired resident, no, excuse me, a priest, resident, or hired servant. I'm looking here to see if it's ger or the ger toshavim. Doesn't look like it.
No, it
Doesn't look
says
like it. Yeah.
no non-priest may eat holy food. Truma. A priest, resident, or hired servant may not eat the holy food.
But the slave or the servant or the monetary acquisition slave
10.
may eat. Isn't that interesting?
Read 10.
10.
Hmm.
You
No
mean keep
non-priest
reading or
may
just oh you wait
no
oh you,
non-priest may eat holy food. Truma. A priest, resident, or hired servant may not eat holy food. Truma.
if a priest's daughter marries a layman, she may no longer eat
Correct.
the holy food. The priest's daughter becomes widowed or divorced, and she has no descendants. She may return to her father's household as in her youth and eat of her father's teruma. No non-priest may eat of it. He says again, if a layperson unintentionally eats holy food, he must add a fifth to it and give the priest the holy food. So he's got to pay for his meal and then some.
Hmm.
You must not desecrate the holy teruma for which Israelites have set aside for God, thereby causing themselves to bear iniquity and guilt when they lately eat their holy teruma. For I
Laity.
am laity, for I am God who sanctifies them. So you just get an idea, there's a status, there's a status, I don't know if that's the word. There's a
Yeah.
definite hierarchy. You have to have it that way. Um,
There's rules to the office.
yes. And what an office.
Yeah. Just think of that poor Chicago Pope.
Oh yeah. I didn't get another meme. It said, the church's new pope from Chicago is now offering a new type of communion wafer, and it was a big slice of deep dish pizza.
Yeah, with a Cubs miter on his head. I loved it. I sent that to you. I
That's what
sent
that
that to you.
was.
Yeah, it's a kid.
Oh,
Yeah, it's his hat. It's his hat with the Chicago Cubs on it.
okay, okay.
Makes
All
sense
right.
now.
Yeah, yes, much better. This is the first American pope.
Hmm.
I still like Gav's idea. Get him a Corvette for the Pope Mobile. That'd be
Hmm.
awesome. A Pope in a Corvette. I'm not even Catholic, but a Pope in a Corvette. Come on,
Or Denali.
a
Give
big
him a Denali.
Denali,
Big old Cadillac. Big old Cadillac Denali. Big tires. Big rims.
big rim, yeah, gold. Uh,
Make it bounce. Make it bounce. Make it bounce.
but the Pope will not use the devil horns.
Hmm.
He'll do the usual
Yep. Hmm.
Okay. All right.
We're
Serious,
going to
serious.
we're going to Christian hell.
We are going to Christian now. That's okay. They're all going too, so
That's
we'll
right.
be in good company.
Right.
Um, I love y'all. Okay, we're getting up on the top of the hour, so I think it's time we do the Haftorah. What do you say?
Get her done.
Haftorah time. Haftorah, 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 Haftorah. Okay, this is the same link that I gave you there in the side chat and in the description below. You'll say it's over on the top of the pages. First reading, second reading, third reading. Haftarah, section from the Hebrew Bible that is not Torah but directly pertains to the portion we've been reading today. This is from Ezekiel, um, Yeketzel,
Ezekiel.
chapter 44. We're going to start on 15, and we'll just get to it. But the priests, the Levites, the son of Zadok, who kept my charge of sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall come near me to minister to me. They shall stand before me and offer me fat and blood, says the Lord God. They shall enter my sanctuary, and they shall keep, and they shall approach my table to minister to me, and they shall keep my charge. If it tells you something here, and this isn't this week's Parsha, it was farther back, but it was the Levites who stayed true
Mm-hmm.
during the golden calf incident. They're the ones who kept the faith, if you will, or behaved. Okay, 17. And it shall be, when they enter the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall be upon them when they minister the gates of the inner court and within. Linen hats shall be upon their heads, and linen breeches shall be upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves in a place that sweats. But when they
Good.
go out to the outer court, into the outer court to the people, they shall put off their garments wherein they minister and place them in chambers belonging to the sanctuary and clothe themselves with other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. And the hair of their heads they are not to shave, but also not to let grow wild. They must be careful to trim the hair of their heads. I think scissors are okay. It was back then when you would take a knife and try to cut it. That's actually prohibited. You're not allowed to use that kind of trimming. I think scissors are, or there's a special way that it can be done. And wine, no priest drink when they come into the inner court. And neither a widow nor a divorced woman may they take for wives, but they shall take virgins from the descendants of the house of Israel. Also the widow, who is only a widow, some of the priests may marry. And my people shall teach the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between impure and pure. And in dispute they shall stand in judgment. According to my ordinances they shall decide it, and my teachings and my statutes they keep in all my appointed times, and my Sabbaths they shall sanctify. To no human corpse shall they come to defile themselves, except to father and to mother and to son and to daughter, to brother and to a sister who has had no husband, shall they defile themselves. The sister has a husband, the husband has his family, takes care of her.
Mm-hmm.
And after we went through this, oh yes, we did. And after his purification, they shall not count 7 days for him. And on the day that he enters the sanctuary into the inner court to minister in the sanctuary, he shall offer his sin offering, says the Lord God. It shall be to them an inheritance. I am their inheritance. You shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. The meal offering and the sin offering and the guilt offering are they to eat. And everything that is vowed to be banned in Israel shall belong to them. And the first of all the first fruits, and every heave offering, everything from every sort of your heave offerings shall belong to the priests. Also the first out of your kneading troughs you shall give to the priest, to bring enduring blessing into your home. Anything that has died of itself or is fatally wounded, whether it be bird or beast, the priests may not eat.
Mm-hmm. No roadkill for you.
No roadkill.
Mm-hmm.
4 weeks and 4 days, I believe.
Yep.
Actually, I think we're in
33rd day.
day 5 now. I think it might be sundown here already.
It's the
But yeah,
33rd day.
we're counting the Omar.
Yes.
Omer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got 29 and 29. And 33 is 4. So it's 4 days.
And then we get the giving of the Torah. It's the time between Passover and the giving of Torah. And
Mm-hmm.
Israelites count the days. The Israeli, the Jewish people, and the Cohen
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Cohens are a different animal, aren't they? They're not quite the same as traditional or as you're Jewish. They call them all Jews, but actually the Cohen are a different
Mm-hmm.
people, different animal.
They're Levites.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're going to end the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate You right there watching, my favorite viewer,
Mhm.
thank you so much. Like to hear from you. We do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. Link to join the chat is always there. Question, comment, compliment, complaint, suggestion. Would love to hear from you. Rosalie, any final words tonight?
Yeah, like I said, for those saying prayers, it's Refuah Shalima for Cecile Bat Evelyn and Refuah Shalima for Rosalie Bat Cecile.
Got it.
And my
Shabbat
friend,
shalom.
and Refuah Shalima for my friend Joanne Batkhana. She's going through a lot too, and she's going in for surgery. She's they're hoping to correct her heart issue because it's also help you everybody's hearts and kidneys work together. If they get out of sync, it's not bad. So they said she's going into renal failure. So they're hoping that if they correct the heart, that the kidneys will straighten out too. So
Here's
there's
to
that
your
too. So
success.
yeah,
And to yours as well,
thank you.
Rosalie.
Yes. The good news is that I I called this morning and they said they were out of one of my medicines. It's like, well, damn, okay. I get to work and I go on my first break at 1. Was it 1:30? Yeah, because they shut down from 1 to 1:30 for lunch. And I get back and both medicines were there. So it's like, okay, yay. Yeah, so so I got both of them today, so that was yay. I need that.
Good.
Yeah,
Miraculous.
yeah.
Well,
Considering it was supposed to be here till tomorrow, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, yep.
Shabbat shalom, all you happy people.
Shabbat shalom. Yes.
We'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in.
Mhm.